This is the Waykar 155 Pints Commercial Dehumidifier. It's a big unit, both in what it promises to do and how it looks in front of me. If you're someone like me who spent time fighting humidity in big basements, warehouses, or even workshop spaces, you'll know that not every dehumidifier is up for that job. Well, I got my hands on one, used it, and in this quick review, I want to give you an honest look from my own experience. Just the basics, the real feedback, and some of the things that stood out to me, plus a few things I wish I knew before starting. Looks-wise, this dehumidifier means business. It's got a pretty modern, sturdy feel, with that classic black and white metal look. When you approach it, you notice it feels heavy, but it's not unmanageable. The oversized wheels on the back are legit sturdy and roll well even when going over rough spots in my basement, and the front has those swivel casters with a brake that actually works for holding it steady in place. There's a big carrying handle that definitely helps move it around. Even though it clocks in at about 80 pounds, I could slide and roll it across concrete and tile floors without breaking a sweat. The front panel pops open easily enough so you can get at the washable filter, which in my opinion is a huge plus if you hate running to the store for replacement filters. The magnetic closure on the access panel keeps things secure, but is so easy to open, I could do it one-handed, even with gloves. The black and white finish is pretty sleek for a piece of industrial equipment, and I like that it doesn't look out of place in my home. From my experience, compared to some older models I've owned, the Waykar just feels tougher and better built. When I first got the unit, I'll admit, I was a little nervous about setup. Getting a commercial dehumidifier with built-in options like a pump, hoses, and auto features can sound complicated if you've only used regular home units before. But I opened up the instruction manual, looked at the fittings, and it actually made sense. The digital control panel is straightforward. There's a big power button and a clear screen showing room temp and humidity. Setting your desired humidity level is just a matter of tapping up or down. The timer is handy if you know you only want it running for a set number of hours. You can program it anywhere from 0 up to 24 hours, and it just shuts itself off or restarts, which is super practical for saving power. The pump comes with a 16.4 feet hose, long enough to reach a drain across the room or even go up to a utility sink, which is nice since not everyone's got a floor drain nearby. And for simple gravity drainage, you get a shorter hose too. Now, once I fired it up, the first thing I noticed was how quiet it is for something this heavy duty. I've worked with units where you can't even hear yourself think when they kick on, but the Waykar is smooth. I could still talk on the phone in the same room. The airflow is strong, but doesn't make rattling or growling noises. Maintenance is also pretty much a breeze. The washable filter snaps right out, and I could just rinse it under a tap every week or so, depending on how dusty my space got. That's way better than the headache of buying new filters all the time. It's made a big difference for me in my woodworking space, where sawdust can clog things up fast. And the overall air quality has felt better since I started using this. One of the absolute best features, at least for me, is the water management on this unit. In all honesty, keeping up with draining water tanks on little home dehumidifiers was always a pain. With the Waykar, I got to choose, either let the water flow out constantly with the gravity drain hose, or hook up the pump system and let it auto-pump out condensation up to 16 feet away. The float system inside the tank tells the pump when to kick on, so I don't have to constantly check if it needs to be emptied. This is perfect for someone like me who gets distracted working and forgets about little details. After a few days, all I had to do was check the hose placement to make sure nothing moved, and the Waykar did the rest. I am no longer dealing with overflows or wet floors. Another thing that really makes this unit stand out is the build quality and protection features. The Waykar comes with overload protection in case there's a power surge, something I don't want to risk with gear this size. It even has memory recall, so if the power goes out, I don't have to reprogram everything. It just remembers the previous settings. When I had a cold snap, I did notice some condensation icing up on the coils, but the auto-defrost kicked in and sorted it out pretty quickly. In case anyone's new to dehumidifiers, that just means it shuts off the compressor and uses a bit of heat to melt any ice before turning back on. It really helps the machine run longer without hiccups, especially in colder basements. As someone who's dealt with plenty of customer support in the past, I can say Waykar's support has been helpful. I reached out with a question on setting up the hoses, and they replied quickly with clear instructions. And for what it's worth, reading reviews from other users online, Most folks got the same quick, solution-focused help if they ran into trouble, or even got replacement units if theirs arrived with shipping damage. There are a few minor things I feel are worth mentioning. The initial hose setup took me a couple of tries, mostly because I'd never used a pump this size before. Also, the unit is generally very quiet, but when it runs at absolute max power, you can notice it. So if you're super sensitive to background noise, you might want to keep it in a garage or utility room instead of a bedroom. The unit itself is heavy, so if you plan on carrying it up and down stairs a lot, it can be a workout. But once in place, it's surprisingly easy to move around on the wheels and with the handle. Now, what do I actually like most about this? In my opinion, the strengths are really clear. The amount of moisture it pulls from the air is impressive, and in my experience, after a week, I saw a big drop in humidity. The concrete walls in my basement felt completely dry to the touch, and my tools stopped rusting. The flexibility of using either the gravity drain or the built-in pump made it perfect for different spaces, and not having to empty a tank is a huge convenience. The washable filter saves time and cash, and the controls are really easy to understand, even if you've never used a commercial dehumidifier. Also, the 5-year warranty adds real peace of mind if you're going to use this every day. I'd recommend this for anyone who's got a big open area that's always a little damp or has problems with musty smells, like in a workshop, basement, storage area, or a pool house. In conclusion, the Waykar 155 Pints Commercial Dehumidifier offers exactly what large spaces need. Serious moisture removal, flexibility with water drainage, strong build, and a design that's surprisingly user-friendly. The minor setup hiccups are easy to get through, especially with solid customer support. If you're on the fence because regular home dehumidifiers just aren't cutting it, from my experience, this one is a real upgrade. For me, it's definitely made the space healthier, more comfortable, and easier to work in. If you found this quick review helpful, or you have questions about how it works, don't forget to leave a comment down below. And if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.